our crew here moves towards the River City, as they're called. As you get closer, as essentially you become within visual range of the ghosts, you receive very much the same response that Júlia received. Everybody's watching you, but they make no attempt to approach or, do anything, but you are watched for every step you take. Like, they're not even trying to hide it. It's not like, oh, we gotta... Nope, it's just...
And as we're walking, I'm just gonna look over at Tiago and be like, "You ever been to the States, Tiago?"
No, but seen things on TV.
Oh well, those movie or the trope where you get lost in the rural, idyllic city or town and population maybe 50 and literally everyone knows you don't belong there.
By Deliverance, yeah.
Yeah, that's 100% true. If you're ever in the States, I'm just gonna tell you that's not even like that. That's a thing. That's
no. Not if I go. Go see New York. Go up the Empire State Building. I'm gonna be a tourist if I go.
I'm just saying, if there's shotgun blasts on the signs, you might not be in the right neighborhood. I'm not kidding.
Same rules apply here.
Are there shotgun blasts on the signs?
That would involve there being signs.
Even worse.
No
I
signs.
say here. I say here.
Yeah.
Eventually, as you kind of begin to move around the city, a rather stately, dressed ghost approaches, and it goes, "Welcome bound to my fair city." And he straightens himself up.
So, What are you, what do we call you?
Oh, well, it's been a while since I've been asked something like that. I kind of fancy the title king myself. So, liege, that works for me.
Liege, your majesty, your grace, one of those honorifics would work fine.
He seems very, very pleased with all those words that came out of your mouth.
Is that the crown?
No.
Okay.
I'm gonna lean into.
He is very stately dressed, but it's not like king's robes and a crown or something like that. It is more like a nice Victorian style suit.
I'm gonna lean into Vin, and so either this guy's the genuine article and he's incredibly proud, or we just met the village crazy man.
Chip's one weakness, decorum.
How are the other ghosts around us reacting? Same.
Staring.
Okay.
They have a staring problem.
I need to blink. There's something weird. They don't blink.
Oh, none of us here blink. You may or may not get used to that. I honestly can't say. I don't. What brings you to my city, though?
There's a problem a little bit further up our side of things.
Oh, there's a lot of problems further up. I mean, you guys come from a real nasty place up there. Woo!
Well, and you didn't?
Well, I mean, I'm the leader down here, so everything gets kicked up to me. So I got it pretty good down here, much better than I did up there. Whew.
Right.
What year is it up there, by the way?
2016? Is it
Something
20?
like that, yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah, you're right.
Oh, yeah. 2016.
Those are numbers.
I mean, when did you
Clarify.
come?
What
When
year
you-
was it when you wound up
Come down.
down here? Yeah.
Oh, 1840 something, I believe.
It's changed a lot. Very different place.
And he leans and goes, so are we talking about Anno Domini or
Who are you leaning into?
I'm asking the king, like, are we talking about 18 something Anno Domini or
Oh, I see what you're saying. AD or BC?
Oh,
Yeah.
Well, he wouldn't know BC.
Yeah,
Put it
PC.
this
Yeah.
way, if he don't know, one could presume.
Okay.
it would be AD.
Oh, okay. So it ain't really, in the grand scheme of life, it ain't been that long.
No,
It ain't missed
there's a
much.
lot more cars. They go so much faster now as well.
Yeah. Things kind of blew up there about halfway, but we worked it out.
Well,
Did we?
anyways,
I mean, as well as any awkward family reunion could be. Let's be real.
so what brings you to my city, though? I can interest you. Can I interest you in one of our fine restaurants?
We're looking for our friend.
Oh, a lot of people come through here, though.
He didn't.
This one would have been like more of a kind of like suddenly.
They sort of literally just dropped in.
Oh, well, I was just about ready to say we haven't had another bound here in several years.
No, there was a shift. The ground opened up and one of our friends fell.
Oh yeah, that happens all the time. That's not surprising. That's what happens to 90% of the cities.
And you're
And
not worried about that?
I mean, why worry about something that you can't stop?
That's
Oh.
a philosophy, sure.
When,
I mean, how long are you
that
talking?
way,
How long has this been here?
yeah, I mean, are we like? Is it supposed to move on like 2 hours, 2 days, 2 years, 2 centuries?
What
2
is time down
millennia?
here, honestly? We don't keep track of days, months, years. That doesn't matter anymore.
Yay.
Now that is something I can sympathize with. Right. So basically, we just experienced one of those shifts, and a friend of ours didn't quite jump at the right time, and we're kind of, we think, I looked up. Does it look about right?
Honestly, it is a complete tangled mess. I'm gonna require a roll there. Wits plus survival here.
Wits plus survival. All right. At least I have decent wits. I got that going for me. Survival. This isn't a terrible roll. Oh, hi.
Nice successes. Realistically, it's very unlikely that they would have seen it. It looks like one of the cavern walls just would block their view.
No, I'm sorry. We're not quite there. See, we got off on exit. Real life truck just. I think they're taking the wheel off right now. Sorry, guys.
It's immersion.
Yeah.
Earthquake.
Yeah. Pooter and I live in California. If things start shaking, you'll see us go.
Neat.
And if you see things really start to shake, we're probably going to be ducking.
Yeah. But no, I go. Okay. No, I think that crevice doesn't look right. That's more of a hole than a crevice. That's a separation, not a crevice. I think that's the crevice around there. So no, we're not in the right. I don't think we're in the right city.
But from what it sounds like is you, now, pardon me, but I have been down here quite a bit for quite a while. When things tend to fall from this area, and he kind of makes a gesture at where he's currently at and a little bit upwards, they usually fall down to, and you see him kind of pause as, oh boy. Well, yeah. And he like trails off.
Trails off to where?
Well,
His
we could use a royal opinion on this.
the royal opinion is going to be that you're screwed.
Honestly, it's just a day ending in Y at that point.
I would brush up on your old laws if I were you, because you're going to one of the domains, it seems like. If they fell, he kind of scratches his head a little bit.
So,
That sounds rather important. Where would we learn of these old laws and domains?
See, that's the tricky part, is the old laws are... they call themselves the Death Lords down there. They're the de facto leaders of the deep domains. Their henchmen are known as Reapers to us up here.
So far, you're describing in-laws, not old laws.
The old laws are what they decide to come up with. Basically, each one of those down there, each one of those massive areas, create their own laws that they update and change daily, weekly. Luckily, most of the time there's a gate guard, and that gate guard generally always knows the most up-to-date laws, but you've got to actually sit there and listen to them. And sometimes that's a little hard, and if you get in trouble, well, let's just say incarceration isn't a thing.
Oddly enough, I wouldn't suspect the death penalty is the thing either.
You're ripped apart for your ephemeral and cannibalized. Well, that is if you're made of ephemera, and he kind of gestures at himself.
what
No, I'm
about
a bit more masculine than that.
If that was an
had to.
attempt at humor, and he kind of just shakes his head. Must be that 2000 humor.
No, that was me making an attempt at my character not knowing what ephemeral means. No, I mean, right. So, what about those of us who lack such effeminate features?
Ooh, well, I don't know.
Right. So, at the risk of not becoming an old god's ancient experiment of the day, I guess we're just going to have to get some notebook, paper, and
I'm sure you can find.
highlight.
I'm sure you can find all of that in my fair city.
So what is your city called?
It seems like you've hit a little bit of a sore spot. as he just kind of freezes mid-conversation. Well, you see here, we don't generally name our cities because, well, that whole non-permanency that we have here.
Right. You don't name the college you're gonna eat, you know.
Yeah.
Okay, so what would be the quickest but most non-threatening way of getting down to one of these deep places?
You got a coin? Or 2 coins? Well, I guess it would be a total of 6 coins.
First of all, define coin, because we've got, you know, pesos, we've got quarters, we've got...
Do you have something to pay the ferryman? He says kind of bluntly.
Well, that depends. Does he have a foreign currency exchange network? Or, I mean, in all seriousness, does he just take coins?
He just takes coins.
I mean,
I'm set then. I mean,
I got a few right now.
Yeah, I got a few.
I got plenty. I have to deal in cash 9 times out of 10 anyway. Last time I used one of those, and I look over to the other guy's cards. I look over to him. I go, writ of credits. Someone stole it. So yeah, I pretty much have plenty of coins on hand.
Well, then you should be able to pay a ferryman. They usually come through here once in a while.
No schedule, I assume.
Days, weeks, months. Once again, it's all the same down here.
Well, when was the last time one was through?
Oh, that has been a little bit, so probably expecting one to come through. They usually find their way. Or there are tales. And he pauses. We have a boat.
Okay. I assume, though, the ferryman knows where to go, and we would.
See, that's the thing, is only the ferryman can take boats down the river. And then he points at you guys. Except you guys can also do that.
Really?
We can.
Ferry ourselves?
At this point he goes, well, I don't know the full express details, but your symbiotic nature with your fellows, which he kind of looks around, don't seem to be here, which is a little odd, but I can certainly...
We got separated.
Well, they'll be around. No problems with that. Either way, that's getting off.
No, our one totally got him lost.
That's something completely else. But yes, something about your symbiotic nature with your ghostly pals allows you to act as the ferryman. However, those that ride with you still have to pay the toll.
Okay.
So basically, you can act as a ferryman as long as you're actually acting as a ferryman.
Yeah. Yeah. So any of us specialized in spectral watercraft?
One way to find out, I guess. They said they got a boat.
okay.
I mean,
And he
Is it because I'm the... Yeah, go ahead.
and he kind of points up into the air, and you see what essentially it counts for a wooden crane. You know, the type that you have to...
Hand crank, yeah.
And this gigantic net, which does appear to have what you would classify as a boat. if a boat was allowed to have a bunch of holes and missing boards.
See, I'm no sailor, but I'm pretty sure there's not supposed to be holes in it.
I ain't got that much Flex Seal on the truck.
And I suppose you don't know anything about the underworld to know that things don't work that way down here.
I was gonna say, I don't think we're playing with the normal rules at this point.
Yeah, let's pre-trip it and see how it floats. So, and I'm gonna say, so Your Excellency, would you? And this is not at all in an attempt to be decorum. He is literally just trying this with zero. He's not skilled at all. Would you permit us to use your boat, royal boat? I don't know. Someone help me here.
Well,
Do I look like I went to Shakespearean school?
luckily for you, I'm in need of something.
I think everyone down here is on. It seems to be like a thought.
Recurring theme, yes.
Honestly, some things just never change. Above, up above, down below. As long as there's two people left in the world, someone is going to want someone to do something.
Follow me. And he spins on his heel and begins marching away.
Let's follow his
Yeah.
highness, I guess.
He leads.
As we're moving, do we have a sense of where our Geists might be?
They are drawing closer. They did definitely loop around on themselves at least twice.
Okay.
Oh, please tell me they're not. Because that's the thing. I know Arwen would be the one to be like, yeah, I know where I'm going. And then totally miss that rock looks the same like 3 times.
He leads you to one of the more dilapidated buildings in this city. And he goes, all right. And his demeanor changes a little bit. So, some of us aren't necessarily as pleased by our lot in the afterlife as, well, I am. I've got it kind of made here.
Yeah.
He kind of pauses. It's not easy. I say this, knowing full well I am just another fish, slightly larger fish, in a very large pond. That's the way it works here. Tyranny stacked upon tyranny, stacked upon tyranny. That which you saw before is, to a degree, an act.
Thank goodness, because those not doing so well filling with the moment.
Oh, I'm still very much for being called His Excellency, Highness, Majesty. All of that is... And he kind of just, does that with his coat.
Anyway.
Yes. However, I'm aware of my position, and I'm aware I'm just somewhat of a cog in the machine. And it's at this point he kind of pulls back what essentially equates to a torn up rag in front of the doorway. And what you see inside is, the best way to describe it is the equivalent of a pre-OSHA coal mine. They're digging in deep, trying to pull out stuff. Occasionally, you see ghosts get crushed by rocks. Our lot, in this case, is we are a raw material river city. That river is completely dried up of anything that you would classify as foodstuffs.
Right.
So we focus mainly on export. Now, despite my own tyranny, because, and he kind of nods his head, yes, that is forced. Doesn't mean that I don't feel. If there is anything you can do, even if it's just for one particularly lucky person down there, if you can help them pass on some way, some form, that boat is yours to keep. I'm gonna let you have it beforehand, before you do this, but I need an oath.
Okay, before signing anything, I mean, what are we doing here? Is it like in the movie? I'm realizing he doesn't probably understand what movies are. Like in the stories, like unfinished business.
Unfinished business is mostly for those that are out there. And he kind of makes an eye gesture upwards. Those are generally the ones that have unfinished business. They have something that tethers them to, well, the living. Those down here have lost those tethers. Things are different. And it does seem like you're a little bit fresh. So I don't expect you guys to come up with an answer right this moment. That would be improbable. Even if you guys were the most experienced of the bound, I doubt you'd have an immediate idea of how to help a single person here. But that is what I ask. And it's at this point that he lets go of the curtain and takes a step back. You also kind of realize that this is kind of out of the way. It is a little bit outside of the town. And it is completely out of the eye shot of any ghost that you can see.
I mean, truth be told, I don't mind doing it. Sounds like it's pretty much what we were supposed to do. I mean, it's kind of our calling, in a way, if you remember. I look back at, the other two. I'm like, this is kind of the thing we were called to do, you know? That said, I think us three would be just wandering blind. I mean, we could poke and prod, figure it out. That's up to y'all. If you want to take a crack at it now, I'm game. But it does occur to me that there's much more knowledgeable people in our group that could help expedite this and maybe help more along the way as well.
Yeah, I do feel that one of the reasons why we're back the way we are is to help ghosts in need, so I would have no problem taking an oath to that effect. I've taken oaths to help the living. I can take an oath to help the dead.
I forget, just off the top of my head, what the old lady's name was that we saw.
Faye.
Right.
Faye.
Right,
So
yeah.
yeah, Faye kind of said this was sort of our thing. So it's right up our alley. Now the question is, do y'all want to tackle it now? Or do y'all want to regroup and do it then? That's up to y'all.
I don't think there's going back at this point.
And as you kind of ask that, Chip, he speaks up and he goes, I wouldn't be so presumptuous as to suggest that you do this before you assist the other member of your group that fell. If I am correct in my suspicions and they fell into the deep domains, they're not getting the rundown of the rules.
And bypass the guard, yeah?
Yeah.
So they are in far more immediate threat than anybody here.
Yeah, she did
Sure.
kind of just hop the border like that.
And it's at this point that your Geist actually have found their way and approach, and he kind of looks over. Ah, there are your compatriots.
Yeah, we kind of got split up, but they're back now.
All right. So who led the merry band to get down here? I want a show of hands.
There's 4 guys. Okay.
Yeah.
That's not what I wanted to do. I did not mean to click initiative, sorry.
They just show up. Oh, hey, you guys are here. Eyes glow red and just come.
Let's see here. I know how to do it. Okay.
Yeah. I
1,
think-
2, 3, 4. Boom. Rose was leading them.
Well, that explains it.
Well, that's a good girl. You managed to navigate those tunnels. Good job!
The look of hatred across her face is pronounced.
I'm giving a compliment. What?
I think she took it more as patronizing.
I think she's probably had, like, I don't know, 300 years to know where she's going.
Oh, I don't. She looks like 10 to me.
You know, I'm guessing that she's been like that for quite a while.
At this point, he actually moves over and starts conversing with the guys in their kind of body language, sign language type stuff. And he comes back.
We really should learn that language if we can at some point.
It's not a language per se. It's one of those things I'm not going to be able to explain it in any way that makes any sort of sense. So to
Okay.
spare you word vomit, I'm not going to. However, the fact that you think she's 300 years old, well, quite frankly, pisses her off.
I'm guessing you.
Guessing what?
You're guessing a woman's age, Tiago. You should know better. Suave, debonair Tiago should know better than to guess a woman's age in front of her. He gets a pass on that, I'm sure.
She's somewhere between 7 and 300 then. Okay. I'm not... You know, if I wasn't in the underworld, I would literally be digging a grave right now.
At this point, he kind of, if you're gonna, he reaches back over to the rag and he goes, "If you want to keep digging."
No, I'm just gonna stop saying worse.
Right, but it's a good question though, because I'm sure it would take way too long to explain why they can't communicate with us the way you're communicating. But it stands to reason we do kind of have a little bit of a communication issue here.
Look,
I think we'll figure that out with time, I suppose.
That is kind of what I'm going to get at here. Is
okay.
I don't know much about the Bound.
It's okay. We don't know much either.
Basically, just... God, I feel like I'm giving relationship advice, but grow closer together.
That's not the worst advice we've gotten. I mean, I kind of assumed that was the long way around to getting to know each other better. So that's the only way. That's just the way.
Learn to work together. Start trying to realize how your friend, your comrade sees the world. That's the best way I can say it. However, every second you're here...
Yeah.
Yes.
Let's roll. Oh, wait. The oath. So is it like...
I just need your
I
word.
Swear. Yeah.
You have mine. You have ours, yeah. I so swear.
When we say we're getting it done, well, when I say I'm getting it done, I'm getting it done. I don't leave a job half done.
Kind of looks over at Tiago.
You have it. You have my word.
All right. They've probably gotten the boat down by now. I did mean it. Whoever helms that ship, though, you need to actually act like the ferryman. You'll need to navigate, you'll need to push, steer the boat, and you will need to collect payment from anybody and everybody that wants passage.
Does that include Geist? Or we count as one package?
You technically count as one package.
Okay,
To my understanding.
Because I don't think Rose has any coins on her.
You haven't gotten on the boat yet, so I mean, if you're really worried about that, you could pay them.
Oh, okay.
It's just when you're on that boat, whoever takes the helm is the ferryman.
Well, I guess it'll be me.
Yeah, that's kind of what you already do, right? Almost.
It's because I'm a truck driver.
You move things. I mean,
I move things, but I didn't really plan on moving people. There was that one time I volunteered at like the youth program, drove a bus around and stuff. But I mean, you know what? This is superfluous. We should we should get hauling.
I agree. Let's head to the dock.
I'll wing this as I go. So yeah.
His Majesty turns on his heel and begins to lead you to the docks.
All right. We step up and I look and I go, I don't really know if there's like a ferryman's speech. Do I have to sing sea shanties? Is that a thing?
I don't know. Is it supposed to be like silent?
I don't know Italian either.
Serious.
The boat is currently sitting, as you get to the docks, the boat is currently sitting in the river, tied up with a rope that probably looks like it shouldn't be in service anymore. It's just a couple of loose threads almost.
This thing is so out of service, but if it works.
I mean, it's not sinking yet, despite all the holes.
So I'll step out onto the boat first.
You
since I guess I'm
actually
moving
do
this.
kind of... There is a certain air that changes. The best
Okay.
way... There isn't a good way for it to be explained, but there is a certain knowledge you have of the river now that you've stepped on the boat. You don't think it's going to be super far-fetched to be able to navigate it.
Well, welcome aboard. I'm just gonna look like, welcome aboard the SS Minnow. That's about how it looks. This is your captain, ferryman, speaking. Please understand that all tolls are taken before departure. We accept payment foreign currency to be exchanged at a later date. All that's necessary is a coin. Like he's looking around, like expecting to get smited or something for doing something wrong.
Do any of the guys have coin?
Not unless you give them coin.
I will take out probably like it probably like totals up to about probably 10 centavos. So it's like just like kind of give out like really low value coins that I've just got rattling around in my pockets.
Yeah, essentially, it just needs to be... It has to be tied to one of the mythologies of payment for the ferryman into the underworld. Which...
The River Styx type thing.
Yeah, which the most common
coins
is...
on the ice.
Yeah, 2 coins.
Yeah, like I say, I've got like it's pocket shrapnel, but
Yeah, so I'm gonna take.
there's no way you can buy anything with it.
So there you go.
One of the ghosts actually stands up from the actual river city. Where are you heading, actually?
We were going to... Oh, we don't know the name of that deep domain.
We're headed down, son. Or is it male or female?
It's hard to tell, honestly. Ghosts.
If I described
We're headed-
the architecture,
No,
would
no, just-
they maybe recognize it?
We're headed down to the void below. You're either with us or you're not.
Are you heading to the Sea of Fragments or the Deep of Domain?
Sounds like deep a domain.
No. All right.
And if we're lucky, we'll pass by a Loves and a TA on the way.
They rummage through their pockets and they actually deposit 2 coins. They're very spectral in nature. As you look at them, you can't even tell what era they are from, but they certainly are a form of currency.
I'll add it to the bag. Does this thing
How
have an
come-
occupancy limit?
How come we'll put his coins in? Coins for Rose if needed.
No, I think y'all just count as one.
All right.
Yeah,
I think Rose counts as a carry-on.
You definitely want to die, don't you?
I'm just making the joke because I care about you, Rose. Don't take it no personal.
Drifting Smith does have to pay his own way, though, so to speak, because, well, Júlia isn't here.
Can someone loan him 2 coppers and call it good?
I'm good. Don't worry about repaying it.
So with my newfound knowledge, is it okay for someone to pay for someone else? Is that acceptable?
Yeah, as long as the
Okay.
payment's there.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, realistically, in the mythology, everybody's paying for somebody else. The dead don't put the coins on their eyes.
Catholic School of Purgatory, yeah. My camera's broke. But yeah. Bear with me. 1 sec. Yo, narrate. I'm listening.
Yeah, it just seems to be that one other ghost that wants to go to the deep domains.
All right.
And
Last call. All passengers deep domains, Kmart, Del Shamps, and some other busted up store that don't exist no more.
nobody else steps up, and I'm assuming that's when you push off, and literally, that's all you have is a stick.
Yep.
It's gonna be one of those types of...
Oh, it's
We get. Go ahead.
you said you didn't speak any Italian.
No.
Oh, maybe just make up something that sounds right.
Sure, that's how they did it.
Oh,
Yes.
Heard that movie once.
As you begin to move down, go ahead and give me a survival plus wits. Wits plus survival here.
I can give you an
I'm
awful.
yeah,
And
I'm just saying.
nobody else can assist.
Oh, I was gonna say I
The
could give you an
willpower
awful
here.
teamwork.
Yes, you can spend willpower.
Willpower gives how many again?
3.
3. Oh, I bid farewell to the port and the land. I paddle away from. And then he just trails off.
It takes a few hours, but you are actually finding it surprisingly easy to navigate. Things just somewhat... they have a certain logic to them as you're moving through the rivers. It doesn't take too long for the large buildings to come into sight. And when I say, I also need to take a step back here and say, when I say a certain amount of logic, we're still talking about you taking a winding path that occupies a 3-dimensional space. So like, you go here, then you're up on the wall here, going around, and then down. It's yeah. But
It's just St. Louis.
It's its own logic.
Yeah, it makes sense though in your head.
I'm just saying, look at the interstate routes for St. Louis, and you will understand that I understand.
It's at this point that you do arrive. Malcolm, you do recognize the specific buildings, or at least the larger ones.
Yes. This appears to be the right place. That looks like the right shape there. There a dock?
Not really. It is one of those things you kind of have to pull up onto the bank and then just yank the boat up onto shore.
Well,
Yeah, I'll jump out into the shallows and start pulling the boat in.
well, no. Before he goes, like, hold up. That's my job, boss.
And also, do not jump into the water of a river, please. That's
Also, please, like I'm like, hold on, boss. You also might want to avoid the he points down, and it's like, now, I understand that my daughter was the one who played a lot of video games. But if there's one thing that didn't go well with any of the characters she played, it's when that stuff looks all greenish and ghastly and not so very welcoming, you don't put your foot in it. I'm just gonna beach this thing. Buckle up, Buttercup.
And I'm assuming, give me a strength check here. Pure strength.
Hold on. Great wits. Turn off survival. Just pure strength.
Yeah.
You ain't getting a success from us, but yeah.
You're able to.
I only have 3 points in strength, so.
You're able to get it up on the beach, but it's nothing impressive. There was no reason to tell people to hold on.
Now you can help me get it up. Just don't jump in the water.
Yeah, that doesn't look healthy.
My newfound knowledge, like when you were going to go get in the water, I swear there was like this face from on high, and I can't explain it, but it was this guy, and he was sitting there, and like the brain synapses put you into jumping in the water, and all I could see was a scared expression on his face. It was a vision. I don't know why.
All right,
don't jump in the water.
You're a ferryman. I trust your.
Yeah, just I don't know what it was, but he was really freaked out. So anyway, now you can help me.
As you step out of the boat, all of the knowledge that you had about the rivers.
Wait, how did we get here?
It was you.
You rode us here. Rode, as in ROWD, not.
How?
You were very good at what you were doing as you were doing it.
Must be one of them. Must be one of them talents. Maybe I just picked it up as I went.
Okay, well, let's beach this boat a little more. Let's not lose it.
Yeah,
I'm guessing that's the ticket back out of here.
yeah. So we're gonna pull it up. I'll let someone else lead the way. I apparently navigated stuff. I'm gonna assume this is my contribution taken care of. Yeah. So.
Well, we can go and find the entrance to this.
There's no finding. It is directly in front of you. It is a massive walled city with a massive gate. With one spirit that has a rather plain looking mask on its face.
Y'all brought paper, right?
Malcolm, I guess we'll cautiously approach. Hail. We want to enter this domain.
Alway. You are entering the deep domain of Kariba Faisar. And these are the old laws of this deep domain. You have just finished listening to this week's episode of Geist the Sin-Eaters, 2nd edition, Marvelous City of the Dead, part of the Domain Gaming's Contagion Anthology, written and told by Wyverian. A special thanks to you, the listener. If you wish to continue supporting us, subscribe, like, and share. As always, comments are welcome. Until the next chapter, don't stop asking yourself, when change comes, and it will it be full of hope or tragedy?